Las Vegas Aces versus Golden State Valkyries. Chase Center is the site where the Golden State Valkyries, 14-14, will play the Las Vegas Aces, 15-14, on Wednesday. The Las Vegas Aces squared off against the Golden State Valkyries in their most recent outing and came away with an emphatic 101-77 victory, showcasing their offensive firepower and dominance on the glass. From the opening tip, Las Vegas dictated the pace, moving the ball effectively and taking advantage of defensive gaps. The Aces shot an impressive 46.1% from the field, knocking down 35 of their 76 attempts, and were particularly lethal from long range. They converted 18 of their 43-point attempts, a scorching 45.0% clip that kept Golden State's defense stretched and scrambling. The balanced scoring attack featured contributions from multiple players, with crisp ball movement, creating high-quality looks both in transition and in half-court sets. Their ability to sustain that outside shooting percentage deep into the game not only opened driving lanes, but also forced Golden State into constant defensive adjustments that rarely paid off. At the free throw line, Las Vegas was steady and efficient, hitting 13 of 16 attempts for an 81.3% mark. Their ability to capitalize on limited trips to the stripe added to their overall scoring efficiency. The real difference maker, however, was their dominance on the boards. The Aces pulled down a massive 46 rebounds, including a staggering 18 on the offensive glass, which provided a wealth of second-chance opportunities and helped them maintain control of the game's tempo. Those extra possessions not only extended their offensive rhythm but also demoralized Golden State's defense, which was forced to defend for longer stretches. Several of those offensive rebounds led directly to momentum-swinging baskets, keeping the Valkyries from gaining any traction. By consistently winning the battle inside, Las Vegas was able to dictate the flow of play and impose their physical style from start to finish. Ball movement was another strength for Las Vegas as they tallied 24 assists, reflecting a balanced defensive attack where multiple players contributed. Defensively, they were equally active, forcing 10 Golden State turnovers and recording 10 steals, which often translated into easy points in transition. On the defensive end, the Aces held Golden State to just 34.2% shooting from the floor, 25 of 73, doing a particularly good job of contesting perimeter looks and closing down driving lanes. Although Golden State did manage to shoot a sharp 94.4% from the free throw line, 17 of 18, and grabbed 39 total rebounds, 17 of them offensive, they struggled to convert those second-chance looks into sustained runs. From beyond the arc, the Valkyries were just 10 of 34, 29.4%, a percentage that allowed Las Vegas to build and maintain a comfortable cushion throughout the night. The Aces' rotations were crisp, forcing Golden State into late clock situations that often ended with contested jumpers. Even when they gave up offensive boards, Las Vegas recovered quickly to challenge putbacks and limit clean follow-up opportunities. That kind of defensive persistence not only kept the momentum firmly on their side, but also allowed their offense to operate with confidence and dictate the game's tempo. Golden State did manage to distribute the ball decently, recording 17 assists, and their 10 steals showed moments of defensive energy. However, the Aces' ability to combine high-volume scoring, glass control, and perimeter efficiency ultimately proved too much to overcome. The win not only gave Las Vegas a confidence boost, but also underscored the depth and versatility they can bring when firing on all cylinders. Multiple players stepped up in key stretches, whether by hitting timely shots, securing crucial rebounds, or making hustle plays that swung momentum in their favor. The performance served as a reminder that when the Aces play with pace, share the ball, and stay engaged defensively, they can overwhelm even well-prepared opponents. It also reinforced the importance of their bench unit, which continues to provide energy and production when called upon, keeping the starters fresh for closing duties. Jewell Loyd is one player who came through for the game, She ended up walking away with 27 points on 8 out of 13 shooting. She was on the hardwood for 26 minutes played and totaled 3 rebounds. Lloyd walked away from this one shooting 61.5% from the floor and dished out 1 assist. Las Vegas enters this matchup with a 15-14 record on the season, putting them just above .500 as they continue to fight for playoff positioning in a tightly contested WNBA landscape. While their overall performance has been inconsistent at times, the Aces remain one of the league's more balanced squads, capable of winning games through offensive execution, defensive disruption, and disciplined play. They have shown the ability to bounce back quickly from tough losses, a trait that speaks to their resilience and veteran leadership. Against playoff-caliber opponents, they often rise to the occasion by tightening their rotations and leaning on their most reliable scorers in key moments. The challenge moving forward will be maintaining that high level of focus against lower-ranked teams, where lapses in intensity have occasionally led to missed opportunities in the standings. Offensively, Las Vegas averages 81.5 points per game, ranking 8th in the WNBA. They have been relatively efficient from the floor, hitting 41.9% of their field goal attempts, though they are still seeking more consistency in shot selection. From beyond the arc, the Aces are connecting on 32.9% of their attempts, 245 of 745, a middle-of-the-pack figure that suggests their perimeter game can be streaky. However, they are among the league's elite at the free throw line, where they convert at an impressive 82.6% clip. That free throw efficiency allows them to capitalize on aggressive drives to the basket and late-game foul situations. When their spacing is sharp and the ball moves quickly through multiple hands, they can be extremely difficult to defend, as opponents are forced to choose between closing out hard on shooters or protecting the paint against cutters and post players. Continuing to create balanced scoring threats inside and out will be vital for them to maintain offensive rhythm against the WNBA's top-tier defenses. On the boards, Las Vegas averages 33.5 rebounds per contest. While not among the league's leaders in rebounding, their physicality inside often limits opponents' second-chance opportunities. In terms of ball movement, they have tallied 521 assists this season, ranking 11th in the WNBA. That lower assist total reflects their tendency to lean on individual shot creation rather than constant ball rotation. They do a solid job protecting possessions, turning the ball over just 12.8 times per game, and they commit 17.6 personal fouls per contest, a manageable figure that helps keep their best players available in crunch time. Still, finding ways to secure a few extra rebounds each night, particularly on the offensive glass, could provide more scoring chances without increasing pace or shot volume. Similarly, adding a touch more passing diversity might help them become less predictable late in games, especially against playoff-caliber defenses that can force tough one-on-one looks. Defensively, Las Vegas has been opportunistic, forcing 12.7 turnovers per game while drawing 18.0 fouls from opponents, which often flips momentum in their favor. Opposing offenses are shooting 44.0% from the field against them, 367 of 523, and they allow 36.0 rebounds per game. The Aces' biggest defensive vulnerability has been their struggle to contain ball movement, as they rank 12th in the league in assists allowed, having given up 610 on the season. From deep, they limit opponents to 34.4% shooting, a respectable mark that helps them avoid being overpowered by three-point barrages. However, sustaining that perimeter discipline for all 4 quarters remains a challenge, especially against well-spaced offenses that keep the ball moving and exploit gaps late in the shot clock. Improving closeout speed and better anticipating skip passes could go a long way in neutralizing those breakdowns. If Las Vegas can pair their aggressive on-ball defense with sharper rotations and timely help-side coverage, they could turn their defensive identity into a true playoff weapon. In terms of overall scoring defense, Las Vegas sits 9th in the WNBA, surrendering 83.1 points per game. While not an elite defensive unit statistically, they have shown the ability to lock in during high-pressure stretches, especially against top-tier competition, using physicality and smart switching to disrupt offensive rhythm. For the Aces to climb further up the standings, tightening up perimeter rotations and improving rebounding on the defensive end will be key areas of focus, as giving up second-chance points has occasionally cost them in close games. Better communication in pick-and-roll coverage and more consistent box-outs could help them close defensive possessions more effectively, allowing their potent offense to dictate the game's tempo. Additionally, finding ways to apply more ball pressure without committing unnecessary fouls could create extra transition opportunities where Las Vegas thrives. Incorporating more zone looks at times might also help conserve energy for their star players while forcing opponents into lower percentage shots, further strengthening their defensive presence down the stretch of the season. In their most recent outing, the Golden State Valkyries suffered a lopsided 101-77 defeat at the hands of the Las Vegas Aces, a result that showed their offensive woes and the challenge of facing a top-tier team. Golden State battled on the glass, pulling down an impressive 39 total rebounds, including a massive 17 on the offensive end, a testament to their hustle and determination to extend possessions. Those second-chance opportunities kept them in the game early, but ultimately they couldn't capitalize often enough to offset the Aces' scoring efficiency and ability to answer quickly after made baskets. On the defensive boards, the Valkyries collected 22 rebounds, doing their best to limit Las Vegas to one-and-done possessions when possible. But the Aces' hot shooting and timely offensive rebounding proved too much to overcome over 4 quarters. The Valkyries were relatively clean with the basketball, committing just 10 turnovers over the course of the contest, and they were active in passing lanes, recording 10 steals. Their defensive aggression led to some transition chances and brief scoring spurts that kept them within reach during stretches of the game. However, the Aces' disciplined half-court defense consistently forced Golden State into contested looks, disrupting offensive sets and limiting open opportunities. Las Vegas committed 15 personal fouls, sending the Valkyries to the free throw line 18 times. Golden State took advantage, converting 17 of those attempts for an impressive 94.4% clip, one of their best free throw shooting performances of the season. Despite their struggles from the field, their efficiency at the stripe was one of the few bright spots and helped prevent the game from becoming a complete blowout. From beyond the arc, however, Golden State struggled to find their rhythm, hitting only 10 of 34 attempts, 29.4%. Those missed perimeter shots proved costly as the Aces built separation in the second half, with several empty possessions turning into quick scores the other way. Overall, the Valkyries shot just 25 of 73 from the field, a 34.2% mark that underscored their difficulty creating high-quality looks against Las Vegas's defense, which excelled at closing out on shooters and contesting mid-range attempts without fouling. The lack of consistent ball movement and limited penetration into the paint further hindered their offensive flow, forcing them into low-percentage attempts late in the shot clock. Against an opponent as efficient as Las Vegas, those shooting woes left little margin for error. On the other side of the court, Golden State had trouble slowing down an Aces offense firing on all cylinders. Las Vegas shot 46.1% from the floor, 35 of 76, showcasing their balance between inside scoring and perimeter shooting. The Aces were lethal from deep, knocking down 18 of 43-point attempts for an impressive 45.0% rate, with several of those makes coming in key momentum swings that kept Golden State from mounting a sustained comeback. Even at the free throw line, they remained efficient, converting 13 of 16, 81.3%, capitalizing on nearly every trip to the stripe. The combination of crisp ball movement, well-timed screens, and confidence from long range made them incredibly difficult to defend, and Golden State struggled to disrupt their offensive rhythm throughout the game. Rebounding was another decisive factor in the loss. While the Valkyries had a strong showing themselves, they allowed Las Vegas to dominate the glass overall with 46 total rebounds, including a staggering 18 on the offensive end. Those extra possessions not only extended the Aces' scoring opportunities, but also wore down Golden State's defense over the course of the game, forcing them to defend for longer stretches and increasing the likelihood of breakdowns. Second chance points proved particularly costly, as Las Vegas was able to convert many of those offensive boards into momentum-shifting baskets. For a team that relies heavily on defensive stops to fuel its transition game, surrendering that many offensive rebounds was a setback Golden State could not afford. Ultimately, despite flashes of hustle and a strong free throw shooting performance, Golden State was undone by poor shooting percentages from the field and perimeter, combined with defensive breakdowns against a red-hot Las Vegas squad that punished every mistake. The Aces capitalized on slow rotations and breakdowns in pick-and-roll coverage, leading to high-percentage looks that kept the Valkyries chasing throughout the game. The Valkyries will need to address both their offensive efficiency and second-chance defense if they hope to bounce back in their next contest, as missed shots and lapses on the glass have a way of compounding against elite opponents. Sharpening execution in half-court sets and committing to stronger box-outs will be critical steps toward regaining their footing. Ileana Rupert ended up having an impact for the Valkyries for this game. She knocked down 5 of 12 for the contest for a field goal percentage of 41.7%. and had 8 rebounds. Rupert scored 17 points in 23 minutes and added 1 assist. Golden State enters this contest with a 14-14 win-loss record on the season, placing them right in the thick of the playoff race, but still looking for greater consistency to solidify their postseason positioning. Offensively, the Valkyries have experienced their share of ups and downs, with shooting efficiency being one of the more persistent issues. As a unit, they are converting just 39.9% of their field goal attempts, which ranks 13th in the WNBA, and that lack of accuracy often forces them to work harder on the defensive end to stay competitive. While they have shown flashes of hot shooting in certain stretches, prolonged cold spells have prevented them from stringing together more sustained winning streaks. Through 28 games, Golden State has totaled 2,186 points, averaging 78.1 points per contest, a figure that puts them in the bottom tier of league scoring and underscores the importance of generating extra possessions through rebounding and turnovers to offset their offensive limitations. On the glass, Golden State collects 36.3 rebounds per game, a respectable total that has kept them competitive in most matchups, especially against teams with dominant front courts. Their ability to hold their own on the boards is important given their occasional scoring struggles, as it allows them to generate second-chance opportunities and limit opponents' extra possessions, which is critical in low-scoring games. In the ball movement department, the Valkyries average 18.5 assists per game, ranking 11th in the league. While that number reflects some ability to create shots for one another, it also indicates room for improvement in offensive fluidity, spacing, and player movement without the ball. Sharper execution in half-court sets and quicker decision-making could lead to more high-percentage looks, better exploiting defensive gaps, and maximizing their offensive efficiency. Turnovers have been relatively manageable for Golden State, as they give the ball away 13.7 times per game. Not elite, but better than league average and a reflection of their commitment to valuing possessions. They've done a good job avoiding careless mistakes, particularly in close games where each trip down the floor matters. Their discipline extends to the charity stripe as well, where they are among the league's most reliable, hitting 80.7% of their free throw attempts, which often proves decisive in tight contests. They commit 18.3 personal fouls per contest, a number they'll want to keep in check against aggressive, attack-minded opponents who thrive on drawing contact. Limiting unnecessary fouls not only keeps opponents off the free throw line, but also helps preserve the availability of key defenders in crunch time. Where Golden State truly shines is on the defensive side of the ball. They rank second in the WNBA in points allowed per game, surrendering just 78.5 on average. The Valkyries have built their identity around tough, disciplined defense that frustrates opponents into low-efficiency possessions by forcing them deep into the shot clock and limiting clean looks. From beyond the arc, they hold opponents to just 33.5% shooting, 262 of 781, and they are particularly effective at contesting perimeter looks without giving up too many easy fouls, closing out with precision while maintaining defensive balance. Their ability to switch on screens and rotate seamlessly makes it difficult for opponents to generate open three-point opportunities. However, when opponents do get to the free throw line, they convert at a solid 78.3% clip, meaning Golden State's best defensive strategy continues to be keeping opponents off the stripe entirely. In terms of team defense, Golden State limits opponents to 19.3 assists per game, 6th in the league, and holds them to just 34.0 rebounds per night, also ranking 6th in that category. They force 12.2 turnovers per contest, often using defensive stops to generate transition opportunities and easy points on the other end. Most impressively, the Valkyries have been the stingiest team in the league in overall opponent field goal percentage, allowing just 40.8% shooting from the floor, best in the WNBA. That defensive efficiency has been the backbone of their success, as their ability to contest shots, rotate quickly, and close out on perimeter shooters disrupts offensive rhythm. They've also been disciplined in avoiding unnecessary fouls, which limits opponents' trips to the free throw line. This consistent defensive pressure wears teams down over 4 quarters and will be critical to their postseason push, especially in matchups against high-scoring opponents. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Las Vegas Aces winner. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box.